Hello, how are y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped. Well, yesterday I talked to my daughter-in-law and she told me that she had made a zucchini spice cake. Oh my goodness, the picture, it looks so good. So I told her, I said, the recipe please. And so she emailed me the recipe. So this is my daughter-in-law's recipe. And I thought it would be fun to make. We're supposed to toast either walnuts or pecans. Well, I have walnuts, and so I'm toasting them. All right, let's get our... The recipe says to do your wet ingredients in a bowl and then your dry. So our wet is 1 egg, 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Okay, I'm going to get that mixed up. 1 cup of shredded zucchini. Well, don't want to come out of the cup. There it comes. Okay, there it comes. There I go, making a mess. You know, I cannot do anything without making a mess. Alright, here's our wet. And also with the wet, it called for lemon zest. I don't have any lemon zest, so I'm going to use a ½ teaspoon of lemon juice. And a half of a teaspoon of, well, I just forgot what I was going to say. And then a ½ teaspoon of star anise extract. So there that is. Okay, we got our wet. Our dry is a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon of baking soda. So that's our dry. Let me check on these nuts. Okay, they're good and toasted. Nothing any worse than burning your nuts. Alright. Let's get this all mixed up. This all just smells so good. Okay. Take a minute to get it mixed up. We're going to put it in an 8x8 dish and we're going to bake it on 350 for 35 to 45 minutes. Everybody's oven is different. Okay, I've got my pan sprayed real well. Y'all, I can't wait to try this cake. She is a baker. She bakes a lot, and so she'll send me recipes from time to time, and they are really good. Alright, I'm going to stick this in 350-degree oven for 35 to 45 minutes. Alright, our cake is done. Now that's the fun part, making the icing. Alright, we need a cup of heavy cream. You can't go wrong with this. Let me get all this out of here. I don't want to waste any of that. Okay. Alright, a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of star anise extract. Alright, we're going to mix this up. This is going to take a minute. heavy cream and our sugar is all whipped up. Doesn't that look good? Alright, the recipe says to put it in a separate bowl. Alright. Alright, then we do 4 ounces of cream cheese, a half a cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Alright, then we're going to get that all mixed up. Ooh, that smells good. Alright, I'm going to let that go a little bit longer. Alright, we've got our cream cheese and our powdered sugar and our teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And fold this in with the heavy whipping cream. Tell you what, you can't go wrong with this. It sounds good. Alright. Let's move down here. Alright, and we're going to fold it in. After you fold it in, then you put your toasted nuts in here. Alright, I tell you what, this sounds good. I can't wait to try it. Alright, I've got my toasted nuts here. They're kind of big, so I'm going to chop them just a little bit. Oh, they're so toasted good. Boy, you can smell them. Alright. Then fold the nuts in with our frosting. Oh, me and my messes, y'all. Alright, fold those in. Okay. Alright, got that folded in. Alright, let's get our cake. Get all this glorious icing on here. Ooh, goodness, y'all. Now this icing is calling my name. Alright. Let's get us a saucer. Alright, I can't wait for us to try this. Let me just get this knife right here and I'll just cut it right here. Wash my hands right quick. Y'all, look at that cake. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to have that bite. Oh man, that looks good. Got some icing going on there. Look at that cake. Oh goodness. Alright, let's try us a bite and see what we think. Can't go wrong with heavy cream and cream cheese. Alright. I will definitely keep this recipe, y'all. This is good. Those toasted nuts, oh, they just add a lot of flavor. Always got food in my mouth. Thank y'all for being on my channel and for making this new recipe. It's a zucchini spice cake. I will definitely make it again. And I've got it written here in one of my books. 1.5 cups of flour, all-purpose, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of star anise extract, a cup of sugar, 1 cup of shredded zucchini, 4 tablespoons of butter that's melted, 1 egg, lemon zest, which I didn't have any lemon zest, so I just did lemon juice, 1/2 cup of walnuts or pecans toasted. Do your dry ingredients and then mix your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. Toast your nuts and set them aside. In an 8x8 pan, bake 350 degrees, and I did 42 minutes. Then for your icing, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of star anise extract. Mix that up, let it get all whipped, and set it aside. Then 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of star anise extract. And if you'll notice, I did not say that when I did my icing because I used all of mine. But that 1/4 of a teaspoon in the frosting isn't going to hurt because it's in the cake. You fold the heavy cream in with the cream cheese, and then get your nuts and fold into your frosting. Y'all, it's delicious. I hope y'all make it. Well, thank you so much for being on my channel. I just love your sweet comments and your encouraging words, and I just thank you. And if you would like and subscribe until our next video.